Hey, what's up guys? Gorilla here. So you've seen the recent videos of my problems with the Polini 303 and the burn-up engines. All of the bitching and complaining. It's time to move past that. You can't have that type of negativity in your life. It's just toxic. So let's move on. Polini has sent the parts to do the rebuild of this engine. They have a different head that they've sent that lowered the compression a little bit. They've sent a different needle to go in the carburetor. And we think that this may be the fix for this. I really hope it is, for the sake of all the guys that have these engines out here. This is a video of the rebuild of the Polini 303 with the new parts, hopefully to help the guys that have to go through this on their own. I'm very fortunate that my importer, London Ivey, lives about an hour and a half from me, so I was able to go up there and work with him and make this video. My buddy Dave Curry came along and is a big help as always. At the time of filming this, Polini is sending out these replacement parts to the people that have had the engine problems, the burn-up pistons. I'm not sure if they intend to send them out to everybody in the United States, as they think it was an octane issue, that our fuel is not a high enough octane, and we weren't using avgas on this one, so we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated as we find out. This isn't the type of video I usually make. I did the best I could in the outdoor lighting conditions. I was trying to use a handheld Sony camera to get up close so we could see the details, and I hope it helps some of you guys out. Old head versus the new head. Nothing really visible to the naked eye. It's just a few millimeters of machining on there. This is the new needle. It's a little bit fatter up here. It's a little more aggressive taper further down. So, interesting. Okay, hold up. This is very important. Do you see that washer right there in the box with the needle? That needs to go under the spark plug with the new head. The new head is machined differently, and if you don't include that washer under the spark plug, it will cause you major problems. So in the rebuild kit, you get a new cylinder, a new head, a new piston, a new gaskets, a new wrist pin with the two retaining clips, and should be a new bearing. There it is. We are here at Cloudbase Ppg with Mr. London Ivey.
Hey guys.
And Mr. Dave Curry here. He's a little camera shy. But London's got this thing mounted up on a nice engine stand here, so we can start to do the rebuild of this. So
yeah,
here we go.
Have some fun.
We'll remove the spark plug and the water temperature sensor. That's it. We'll also remove the exhaust flange,
Almost got it perfect.
the thermostat housing, and the thermostat. Next are the head bolts. Start with the 6mm Allens and then move up to the larger nuts.
What? You had to pull the intake man.
We had Zeus with us today for moral support.
But I took it to a shop.
There's a screw down inside of the thermostat.
Oh yeah.
Take out? Okay.
Gotta take that one out or she ain't gonna get off.
That's down inside of there.
That's that secret screw. That's the one that holds everything together.
That right there could save a lot of people a lot of problem. Down actually inside of the hole after the thermostat comes out.
Yep.
There's a nut that comes to come out.
I'd probably put a long one in there.
And that's that short screw that comes out of the hole inside of where the thermostat comes out of.
But you gotta take this one off, the number 10 back here.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be sitting on the back or the bottom rubber mounts.
Okay.
So the whole engine is actually gonna tilt forward a little bit while we do what we gotta do.
That's the top mount.
Yeah, the top mount. So if it's on the machine still, you gotta remove that, and then it'll just tilt forward on the bottom rubber mounts. And then I'll push forward. We'll get her growling again.
There you go.
Right, there you lean forward. Like I say, it's going to settle on those mounts. This head, after we take the 13s off.
So taking the head off, we take the...
Yeah, you take the little 6 millimeter.
6 millimeters out first.
Yeah. And you're going to take the 8 millimeter nuts off.
Got the wire tie or?
That can actually stay on there.
Okay. Here's the washer.
Now this, come up. Put that one by that one. There's a hole in the piston. That's what the problem is. Yeah,
There's your
there
problem.
it is. That's why she ain't firing up. Your head looks good. All right. You know, we'll pull this off. Let's see what kind of goodies we got here. Yeah, that's a nice looking cylinder at least. Didn't even scratch it up.
Didn't chew it. That's good.
That's a good one. Okay. We'll start.
Okay, at this point we'll remove the retaining clips from the wrist pin. They make a special tool for that, but a pair of needle nose work pretty well.
Before I go any further, I'm going to take this guy.
And that's to keep anything else from falling down in there?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
That'll also keep from beating things up. Okay, man.
I love the sound of a train, man.
Right? Wait a minute. Gotta do something first.
The other spring.
Yeah,
part.
the other clip. There, you can reach in there.
The retaining clip from the other side of the wrist
The
pin.
angle of this there thing is.
Perfect. Watch out, don't pop you in the eye. Alright, now. Get this thing started.
Here's our new top end kit. Old head versus the new head. Nothing really visible to the naked eye. It's just a few millimeters of machining on there. This is the new needle. It's a little bit fatter up here. It's a little more aggressive taper further down. So we've taken off the carburetor. I'm going to take off the intake manifold there, the rubber manifold, so we can get in there and clean out any debris. Sure makes it nice to have a stand at working level like that.
Yeah,
Instead
right.
of bending over working on it on the machine and
Or on the ground.
yeah.
You found the bearings, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And make a word with that.
Gonna make a trophy and give it to you.
Yeah, thanks. Super trophy. Fine blade action here. In there. Yeah, you got some little fragments in there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
At least they're not melted into the thing.
Yeah. Mineral spirits are the best thing to clean out.
Yeah.
These reed valves and intake and everything else. Parts cleaner is harsh on the rubber parts and the reeds there.
You got a pan or something you dump this in?
We use the mineral spirits.
Nice.
You'll need to completely disassemble your reed valves and clean all the little flakes and little pieces of metal out from inside of there. It's really hard to see on the camera, but there were tiny flakes and little balls of melted aluminum all over around the intake, the exhaust port, and down inside of the crankcase. It's very important that we get all of that cleaned out of there because otherwise it could end up in a bearing down there. I was really concerned about how this process was going to go. So it's very important that we get all of that, those little aluminum pieces from the melted piston out of there. So we don't want them to end up deep inside. He's going to get a flashlight and we're going to look down deep. It's important that you really take your time and get that thing cleaned out really good. A good flashlight will help you look down inside of the crankcase and see what's going on down there. We'll use the spray bottle and the mineral spirits to get the pieces that are visible up in the top end or in the exhaust and the intake manifold. We want to keep that stuff from falling down into the crankcase as much as we can. We're also going to flush the crankcase. But if we can stop that stuff, and then we don't have to worry about getting it out of there later.
A little bit, but not near as much.
Once we had cleaned out all of the visible metal from the top of the crankcase and the intake and exhaust manifolds, we started to flush the crankcase with the mineral spirits. What we do is we fill up that crankcase with mineral spirits and then work the crank manually by hand in each direction a few times. Then we'll dump those mineral spirits out. We dumped them through a clean rag and we could see what was coming out each time. We spent the better part of an hour and a gallon of mineral spirits just constantly flushing and flushing until we didn't see anything coming out. At that point we used the air compressor and would blow some air in there and then flush it again, and we'd see a little tiny bit more metal. We did this until the mineral spirits that were coming out of the crankcase were completely clear and clean. We didn't see any more metal in our towel.
The arrow's pointing the right way.
Yep, and first thing you want to do is take some of that oil and put a layer of the oil inside as well.
Put our
base gasket on.
That arrow is supposed to be pointing to the exhaust.
Yep.
Base gasket.
And your where the rings come together, that's your intake side.
I never pulled this thing, pulled the piston out of it. It was already in.
Oh.
So, but I'm looking at it, and the arrow is pointing this way.
Yep. That's the way it should be going.
I figured they put it together with a, All right, plenty of oil.
And what I like to do is come down here, so you got this. Pull this out just a smidge.
All right.
Just put a little bit of oil on these rings right here. Just if you want to, take that bearing out, and we're just going to drizzle it on there. Give it a
And don't pull the piston all the way out, or you'll have a fun time getting the rings back in there.
And just take, if you want to, take that cap. There you go.
Yeah.
Because the mineral spirits will dry everything out.
I'm just going to set this out here and let it evaporate.
That's perfect. Okay.
Can't use it for anything. It's got paint.
I know. Hey, you could add some paint to it and be flaky.
There you go.
And it'll look like glitter.
Make sure to use plenty of two-stroke oil and lubricate everything. The bearing, the wrist pin, the cylinder, the piston. Just makes things go together much easier.
Wait a minute. That little guy right there.
Ring came out of
Yeah.
sleeve.
So we're gonna have
Check it out.
do it old school anyways.
Alright.
Oh, good.
It ain't hurting anything.
Nah.
Alright, ready? Go ahead and lube it up.
Yeah. Alright, we're all good in here. Okay, now what we're gonna do is the clips. Where's our clip?
They're in the bag with the pin.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so take the clips out.
Go ahead and put one side in.
Yep.
Do we know which side?
Yep. The side that goes to the back, towards the bracket.
Okay, here we're going to install the rear wrist pin retaining clip.
Exhaust side, so it's gonna be on.
Remember, the arrow on top of the cylinder points toward the exhaust port.
There's the arrow. There it is.
Yeah. I always put my finger over it because it will shoot across like that. It would have been gone.
We'd have been crawling around for the next hour looking for it.
Come on. A little bit of oil on my pliers and they get slippery. I'm sure there's a special tool for this. Okay. Make sure it's in the groove. It's nice and seated. And what we need is a little bit of oil here. Nice and slippery. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and put your pin. Get your pin started in there.
Here's your pin.
Thank you.
Oh, is that the old one? Or
No, that was the new one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the old one. We're gonna keep the new one for something else.
Yeah. You'll never know.
No. Who's to say?
We'll be making more videos. damn London Ivey.
Sabotage. Here, I get it one. Wait a minute.
What's going on?
Why's that wrist pin so short?
Do not know.
That wrist pin should not be that short.
No.
Let's take that, sit it right there.
What? Is it sticking?
No, it's not even up against this one yet. Okay. Coming back out.
They sent the wrong wrist pin.
That's weird. It come with.
Okay, we found there were two different pistons
Do we need
in
to
two
check
different
that cylinder
rebuild
out?
kits. One of them is, they're both Vertex
You know what?
pistons. One of them is marked to
use what came with.
75.88. One of them is marked to 75.91.
Just oil that one up.
And the wrist pin is shorter for one of these pistons. So make sure that your wrist pin fits from retaining clip to retaining clip when you put it together. If not, you're going to have a problem.
It's all about the alignment. Now that fits perfect.
Perfect fit.
That's perfect. You were testing me on that, weren't you? Seeing it. You already knew that. It won't work.
Alright, greased up. Exhaust.
I'm gonna put some of that exhaust lubricant that I use on it.
You got the gaskets already?
What do you mean the gaskets? This is a tricky little spring. Yeah, I should say.
This is the head gasket. Well, there's a gasket that went underneath the cylinder.
There is. It's on there.
He's put it on
it's
already.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now make sure our little rings are placed right. Well, where's the stoppers?
They're there. I saw them a while ago.
As you reset your cylinder, you have to make sure that the rings are in the proper orientation. There are little tiny stoppers that fit in the gap of each ring. One of them is facing the exhaust port, and the other is oriented 90 degrees to that one. So make sure that your rings are in the right position with the little stoppers in the gap of the rings before you slide the cylinder down over the rings. It's a two-man job.
Is it right there?
I can't. No,
There
right
it
there.
is.
Right there.
All right, bring the first one down.
All right, it's caught
All right.
on this side.
Now let's take and do the bottom.
All right, we got on that tip. It's not on there. I think it is
I can't see anything.
here. Oh, you're right. Let me slide it back just a hair. No, damn it. It's right there.
Towards me, or?
I'm not sure. First one
Okay,
is.
let me jump on that side then. Right there.
You got her?
Yeah, she clicked in.
Yeah.
Now the top one. Okay, you gotta straighten her up there.
All right.
Alright, hold it. Let me take the rag off.
You clear?
Yep. Should slide on there. Just like that.
Okay.
Bada
Gasket. Up. Exhaust.
bing. Up and exhaust.
And the new bed.
Yep. Grab the
That
6mm bolts first.
Which is the little one.
Okay, make sure your head gasket is oriented correctly. It's marked with an up side and a part that points toward the exhaust manifold. After that, you want to put in your 6mm Allen bolts. You want to run those all the way in, but only finger tight. We put those in before the larger ones so that the gasket lines up, but don't torque those down yet. Don't forget to put the bolt back inside of the thermostat housing portion of the head and snug it down.
Right there. Oh, okay. Right there. This is where that little 1/4-inch impact would work.
Yeah.
I'd be a little scared to use it on the 8mm. The only downfall to it, there's no adjustment for how.
Right. So what I do is I just kind of take these down just where they're touching.
Make sure all the threads are started.
Yeah, because if you don't, the gasket won't line up, and you'll end up having to take it apart again.
So what you're saying is you put in your 4 6mm bolts first.
Yeah, just put them on there, not tight. And then what we do is we put our big 8mm nuts on. We're going to go ahead and torque those before we torque the small ones.
Okay.
See, this is that gasket that goes to that other.
Yeah.
You put it in a bag. About the exhaust gasket. You still
Yeah, I'm
using
going to
it?
need that.
Okay.
I'm going to need the studs out of that old cylinder. Gotta get those out.
Loosen this up.
So we have to remove the exhaust studs from the old cylinder to install into the new cylinder. The way we do that is we use 2 nuts and we lock them together. Then we can use a wrench to break those studs loose.
Cylinder.
Man, did I take that off too quick? Guess I did.
Use red light tile on this thing.
I thought it would be loose enough to come on out with my fingers. Made a liar out of me.
You got no gorilla fingers, right?
All you need off this?
The exhaust studs get installed in the new cylinder with high temperature Loctite.
You don't believe how many people I see put white strips on them.
Oh yeah, shred them.
Yeah.
So remember, when you put your head on, finger tighten all of the 6mm Allens all the way down, only finger tight. Then you can put your 8mm nuts on and go ahead and torque those to 18 Newton meters. 18 Newton meters?
18.
Beautiful.
This one 18.
It's a nice torque wrench.
Yeah, man, it's freaking awesome. Best thing the girls ever got me for Christmas.
Yeah, that was my phone. I missed an important phone call doing this. Apparently my car's warranty is about to expire. Great. Once you finish the big ones, then you can torque down the Allen head bolts. Those should be 12 Newton meters each.
Yeah, a guy the other day at the air show had one of those digital torque wrenches. He set it. He starts pulling on the wrench. He's working on tots. As soon as he hits beep, I'm like, oh, that is spoiled.
Yeah, this one here has got audible too.
Yeah.
I just watch the digits there because it drives you crazy. It's like,
I mean, the old time.
And of course, don't forget the one inside of the water jacket or thermostat housing.
I don't use it for torque. I use it for full box 12.
Attention, this is very important. This washer goes under the spark plug when you reinstall it. Don't forget this washer. Go ahead and put your reed valves back in. Put your intake manifold on. Attach your carburetor. Don't forget to install the new needle. Put the clip on the third notch. Reinstall your throttle cable and reconnect all the wiring.
grab the throttle. Okay, fire and hold.
Smell that WD burning out there.
Oh yeah!
All
Lubricating
right.
parts.
Nice. Alright guys, thanks for coming along. I hope this video helps some of you guys out in some little way. I hope this is a fix, and I hope that your engines run perfectly after this. I want to say a huge shout out and thanks to London Ivey, Cloudbase Ppg. It was really nice to have somebody with some experience with these engines to go through this rebuild with us. Thanks a bunch to Dave Curry for hauling me up there and helping out as always. Alright guys, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And I'm going to take this motor home and put it on a trike of some sort and run it through a nice careful break-in period and start trying to fly it and see if it's dependable. Alright guys, till next time, Gorilla's out. Peace.